Hey everyone, welcome back to another battle report on the Crimson Moon. We're going to be playing some more Deadzone. We are going to be replaying the second scenario in the rulebook. The mission is the Scour scenario. That's the one where we pick up items and we have to bring them back to the cache. And for each item that you bring back, you score 2 victory points. You can't kill any models in the first 3 turns. Well, you can, but you don't get any victory points as like normal games, basically, or the normal rules. This will be the table that we're playing on today. Setup will be these 3 squares, as well as these 2 up. Same thing for the opposite side. The reason I wanted to play this scenario again is because I wanted to try out something with a little bit bigger armies. We'll be using the Rebs, and they'll be taking on the Veer-Myn. So this should be an interesting matchup because, well, once I show you the armies, you'll see why I think the Veer-Myn are going to really prosper in this game. But let's see how the game goes. But without further ado, I'll set up all the items ready to go, and then we'll show you the armies. And this is our table setup. We have our items all deployed. A couple of them here. And as suggested in the actual scenario, it recommends that you have at least 4 kind of like in the central area. That way they could be a big old squab right there. Got one there, one over here, and those 2 in that corner. And anytime it lands on any type of terrain that has a higher elevation, it always ends up in the highest level. This one's right up here. Remember, these big ones are the caches. That's where the characters have to take these items to deposit them. So, all right, so we'll take a look at the armies. So here are the Rebs, and I was trying to hit 200 points. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough points to do that. So we roughly got about 170 points per side. So starting with the Rebs, we're going to have the Rebel Cell Leader, and she's going to have her rifle, and she's going to be armed with an energy shield. Then we're going to have 4, actually 6, yeah, it looks like 6 rebel troopers. These first 3, we have the blue guy that's going to be armed with the ammo, and then the other 2 are going to be armed with armor piercing ammo. Then we have these chums that are in the coats. They're just going to be regular troopers, not armed with anything. Then we're going to have a Grogan with his Desolator gun, and it's going to have a Defender shield. Hopefully this time, in this game, I'll remember he has it, because I forgot all about it in the last game. And then we have our good old Medic, the Judwan Medic. He is just going to be Bear. And then, of course, we have our favorite, the Pterodon. And he is armed with his combat rifle, a combat knife. And then back here, we're going to have, just to get some objectives, will be the survey drones, 2 of them with no equipment, and that is 165 points worth of Rebs. And now, yep, you guessed it, the rats, the famous Veer-Myn. And like I said, there's a lot of rats. Oh man, so they're going to be led by the pack leader, and he's got his trusty combat knife. And then of course we have all his troops. We're going to have 6 crawlers, 2, 4, 6 crawlers. Those are with the ray guns, or actually no, the ray pistols, and their regular hand-to-hand weapons, I guess they have. And then in the back are the actual crawlers. So the crawlers are the ones with the ray guns. The stalkers are the ones with the pistols and the little knives that they have, that you can tell. And that's a lot of troopers. But then of course they have their specialists, which we have our handy dandy Nightmare, which hopefully this game he'll finally get into hand-to-hand. He usually gets shot down, but maybe this one he'll have his lucky day. And of course he's armed with a combat knife, combat blade, I'm sorry. And then just to grab objectives, we got the Rat Swarm. But that is all the huge Veer-Myn army, 168 points, taking on the Rebs. Let's get to rolling some dice, and let's see who's going to take the first turn. So since we're playing over 150 points. That means we're closer to the 200 mark. So that means that we'll be needing 20 points, 20 victory points in order to win the game. Okay, so starting with the Veer-Myn, we're going to go ahead and roll for their tactician and see if they get some good rolls here. So they are tactician 5, or I'm sorry, tactician recon. Recon test, so they're going to have an exploding 8. So they're going to have a recon of 3. Now let's go ahead and roll the Rebs. And they have the same thing. They have a tactician 5, I believe. So it looks like they got an 8 and a 6, a bunch of 1s. Exploding 8. Another exploding 8. Another explode. Okay, so they're pretty much taking the first. Another explode. Okay, yeah, we'll stop there. We know that they're gonna get a whole bunch of exploding 8s, so they're definitely gonna beat out the 3 that the Veer-Myn got. So they're gonna go ahead and choose deployment. What side they're gonna go on. So almost completely forgot that depending on how many points you win the recon by, you get a bonus. You get to actually roll on the table and see what the results are. So they had 1 extra exploding die, which amounts to nothing, gets a 3. So that means they beat their opponent by 2. So now I'm going to look at the table and let's see. Actually, I guess I'll just roll a die and then I'll consult the table. I think you add +2 to it. So they got an 8. So it's however many dice you beat the opponent by. So I'm going to roll 2 dice and the results were a 3 and an 8. So the recon table here is going to show what they can do. So the Rebs can, number 3, choose an item taken and discard it without looking at it, even if you already have, or showing it to your opponent. Choose an item token and discard it without looking at it. Oh, okay. So they can choose to discard an item, and then 8 is choose any one result on the table. All right. So I don't think we're going to do 3 because we're trying to score more points. But actually, I guess it depends on where they're setting up. So they can actually get rid of an item if they're setting up on a certain area. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. Look at one item, then replace it face down. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that result 1. We'll do the look at one item and then replace it face down on the table. Okay, so we are deployed. We got the Rebs on the far left corner. And right down here, we have the Veer-Myn. And before the game starts, the Rebs are going to go ahead and take a look at an item. And they're going to actually look at this one here. Secretly, not telling the Veer-Myn, oh, that's going to be extra points there. So they want to try and get to that one as quickly as possible. So now they get to look at another item and they get to discard that item. So they're going to look at this one. And they're going to discard that, keeping the Veer-Myn from scoring real quickly on their first turn. So now before we take our first turn, let's go ahead and roll some command dice. So the rat leader has 3 base, and then he has +1 for his tactician. So he's going to have a splat. He'll have an extra activation. Or actually, no, it's an extra square movement. Extra die roll, and this is an extra activation. Oops. That should have been the little guy. Where'd he go? There he is. So we're going to reroll the splat. And I guess it wasn't meant to be. So that's going to be the pack leader's command dice. And now let's go ahead and roll for the Rebs. And let's see what they have. They have +2 to their recon, so they're going to have 5 total. Ooh, extra shots. Extra activation, extra die roll. They're going to re-roll the splat. Extra activation. And I think they're going to stick with that. So now it's going to be the Rebs' turn 1. So the Rebs are going to go ahead and activate first. And we're just going to go ahead and activate a soldier. And he's just going to do a dash. 1, 2. He's not going to be able to reach that item just yet. But he's going to stay there. But we're going to go ahead and spend a command die. Do an extra activation. And we're going to go ahead and activate this other soldier. And actually, he's going to go ahead and pick up this item here. So he'll go there, 1, pick up the item. And he will go 2 and deposit the item. Just like that, the Rebs are on the board. And what was deposited? It was, looks like some grenades, but that is gone now. And that's going to be the activation done for the Rebs. So now it's going to be the Veermyn's turn. So we're going to go ahead and activate this stalker here, and he's just going to go ahead and run. Actually, I think this is a crawler. I always get these mixed up. Anyways, there's a ladder right here, so he's going to run. So dashing is going to be 3 for him. So it's going to go 1, 2, pick up the item. Actually, you know what? I think he's going to go for this one. 3, and he's going to pick up that item right there. So we're getting this. He's actually in this square here, but we'll just put him like so, like that, getting a little bit of cover. So he's going to have a health thingy, but he's not going to use that. And then we're going to go ahead and spend a command, and we're going to activate another Veermyn. And we're going to go ahead and activate this stalker, and he's going to run. He's going to run 3. Well, actually, you know what? He'll run this way. 1, 2, 3. And I'm sorry, Rebs, but those points are mine. The intel has been recovered, so that is scoring the rats. I believe it's 2 points. We're going to go ahead and activate one of the drones. He's just going to run or dash, and it'll be 1, 2, 3. And at the end of his activation, he can, I believe he has nimble, so he's going to pick this side here. And he's going to pick up this. So that means he's got armor-piercing bullets. But of course, we want to save that so that we can score. So my bad, he does not have agile. He's got evade. And then he has, I believe it's a dodge. So it's only if he ends up in that. Actually, he could, since he was here. 1, 2, 3, since he has the jump pack. So he could just fly up here. So we'll go ahead and end him down here, but then he's got that agile, so he can just float right up on top. So yeah, he does have that. My bad. So we're going to go ahead and activate this crawler, and he's going to just regular move. So he's going to do 1. Actually, he's going to go 1, 2, get some cover here, and he's going to go ahead and take a shot at that drone. So he'll be 1. Actually, he's in this square. He can't really, close enough. But he's in this square, so it's 1, 2, range 2. So let's go ahead and count up the dice and see what he can do. So we need 6s for the crawler, and we need 4s for the drone. So the drone is okay, it's saved. Oh, way to fire for the Veermyn. He gets 1 hit, but it's going to be blocked by the dodge. So nothing going there. We'll go ahead and activate the pterodon. He's just going to run. So he's got a movement of 2. So he'll go 1, 2, and then take some cover right behind this area here, just to make sure he doesn't get shot. Another crawler is going to activate, and he's just going to go ahead and do a regular move. So he'll go 1, 2, and get some cover right behind here, and he's going to take a shot at the drone right up there. And the same thing, he's going to need 6s. So the colored dice are going to be his, and then 4s for the drone. So we got 2 hits, so explode an 8. So he's going to have 3 hits. The drone, geez, it got 2 explosions, and he's going to block it. It's going to be 3 to 3. Actually, I think he had the weight of fire, so let me go ahead, because I think the exploding 8 was what I rolled. One more. Actually, he's going to get a hit. So it's going to be 1 going through, but I believe the drone has shields. All right, so the drone does indeed have shield 2, so he needs 6s in order to ignore that wound. He gets it with an 8. He's good. I'm just going to go ahead and activate this Rebs trooper, and he's just going to run up. So it's going to be 1, 2, and then try and take some cover back here. And we'll put that like so. We're going to go ahead and go with the Nightmare. He's just going to run up. So he has a movement of 2, so he's going to go 1 and 2 and try and get some cover behind both the trooper here and that building. Try and doesn't get shot up. We're going to go ahead and activate the medic on the Reb side. He's just going to run up. 1, 2 is going to be right here next to his buddy. And he is done. Another crawler is going to go ahead and run. He's just going to move 1, 2, go up the ladder, 3, and he's going to take some cover right behind here, but not before he takes this item, which is looks like it's a med pack. So we'll set that aside to get ready to score for next turn. More Rebs coming out through the door here. He's just going to run. So 1, 2, he's going to hide behind cover here, just to make sure he does not get shot. Gonna go ahead and activate Big Boss. He's just gonna go ahead and run before he gets shot at. So 1, 2, he's gonna take some cover. I don't think that's, no. Looks like it's sealed. So he wants to make sure he doesn't get shot. So he's just gonna run right behind there. Other drone's gonna activate and he's just gonna go ahead and do a dash as well. So he's gonna go 1, 2, 3. He's gonna try and aim for that. Gonna go ahead and activate this time Stalker, and he's just gonna run as well. So he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, and he's gonna go ahead and take that item there and get some cover right behind that. And this is looks like a frag grenade. Have to set that aside and save that. Gonna go ahead and activate the broker. He's just gonna move 1 and try and take a shot. So he's gonna move 1 to there. Try and get some cover, and then he's gonna try and take a shot right down there to that Mr. Veer-Myn. So he's gonna be in cover, so he's not gonna get any bonuses to his die. So it's just gonna be a 3 die on 3 die. So I said broker, but it's Grogon. But we're gonna go ahead and spend a command die, so he's gonna actually have 4 dice. So oops, that's not it. This is what I was meant. So he's gonna take a shot. So he's gonna have 4 dice, and he needs 4s or better. And he actually got all hits. Holy cow! Let me make sure that it is 4s or better. It might be 5s. So it is range 8, and it is a 5 or better. So he's gonna have 1 miss. So it's 3 go through, and then the Veermyn Stalker, I believe, saves on 6s. Got an 8. I'll double check that 5, but I think he does need 6s to survive. All right, let's check those out. So it is a survive 5, so he actually did block 3. So actually he does survive. He's got 3 on 3. So not wanting to waste any more time trying to get these rats down, let's go ahead and shoot again, but this time he's not going to have the bonus die. So it is just going to be 3 on 3. So he needs 5s or better. And he gets an exploding 8, but he only gets 1. Veermyn's gonna have 3 dice. He blocks it and gets a 7. He's good. 1 more time. Crawler's gonna activate. Now he's gonna take his shot. So he's gonna move basic movement. So it's 2, 1, 2. He's gonna get right here. Right in this. Whoops. He'll get like so here, and he's gonna take a shot at the Grogon. So it's gonna be in cover, so it's gonna be 3 dice, and I believe they need 6s. So he got 2 hits, and defense, I think the survival is a 5. I'm gonna roll it and then I'll double check. You only got 1. I'm pretty sure it's not a 2 or a 3. So it is a survival of a 4, so he failed 2. And the crawler actually needed 6s, and he's got weight of fire, so he can reroll 1 more. He actually got 3 hits. Oh boy. So we're gonna go ahead and spend another command die. We'll go ahead and get rid of the extra shot and reroll 1 of these and see if we can't get a save. We need a 4 better. He got it. So he's blocking 2, and I believe he's got armor. If he doesn't, he's gonna take a point of damage. Okay, so he does have the defender shield, so he does have 1 armor on him, and he also has a resilient 1, so that means he could reroll 1 of his failed. I mean, he would have failed it still, but he does have the armor 1 that's gonna take care of the wound that did go through, so he's fine. So now back to the Rebs. We're just gonna activate this Rebel Trooper, and he's just gonna run up. 1, 2, like so, and he'll probably take some cover right back here. Doesn't want to get shot at just yet, and he'll be all right. Still got plenty of rats to move. So here goes another, I believe this is a stalker. So he's just gonna run. So he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, and go. Oh my gosh, not cool. He'll be right behind this area and try and hide behind here. And he is done for the turn. So we're gonna go ahead and go with the actual cell leader, and she's just gonna run 1, 2, and I guess she'll spend her extra activation to go ahead and activate the other soldier, and he's just gonna run as well. So 1, 2, and get into some cover here. He's done, and Rebs are all activated out. All right, so we're gonna run with this crawler here. It's gonna go 1, 2, 3, and he's gonna get cover here, but at the same time he's going to pick this up and it is intel. 2 more points for the Veermyn. That puts them at 4, so they're done there, but the Rebs are all activated out, so let's just finish these guys off. So now it's going to be the other Veermyn. He's just going to go ahead and run as well. So 1, 2, 3, get some cover back here on top. And he is done. And then we're going to activate these other Veermyn. So this crawler is just going to run as well. 1, 2, 3. See if we can't try and contest this item over here. So he is done. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and spend this die to go ahead and move him 1 more square. And he'll just jump over this thing here and get cover right behind here. So he's getting a little closer to that area. Okay, so now let's activate this other Veermyn, and he's just going to run 1, 2, 3, and he's going to try and get cover right behind this area here. That'll be his activation. And then the last but not least will be the swarm. So the rat swarm is 2, 3, so he's just going to dash as well. So he would just go straight 1, 2, 3, and get behind cover here, and that's going to be the end of his turn. So there we have it. That's going to be everybody activated, and let's see what the score is so far. So at the moment it is 2 points for the Rebs and 4 points for the Veermyn. So only a 2-point difference so far, but let's see what happens in turn 2. So actually, I forgot. Whoever finishes activating first actually takes the first turn. So the Rebs are going to have first turn. And let's go ahead and get some command dice rolled. Looks like extra combat, a couple of extra shots, and an extra activation. So you know what? We're going to stick with that. We'll leave the Rebs with that. So they're done. So now let's see what the Veermyn have. A Veermyn, ooh, nice. That's not too bad. Got some extra movements, extra activation, and an extra shot. We're gonna reroll the extra shot. Extra combat, perfect. So starting with the Rebs, we're gonna go ahead and activate this drone because we do not want to get behind in points. And right now the Veermyn are all over the board. They are swarming the board big time, getting a bunch of objectives. So he's just gonna dash 1, 2, 3, and he's gonna be in this area here. Gonna deposit his loot, and that'll be his activation. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and spend a command die for an additional activation, and we're gonna go ahead and go with the Deadzone, and he's gonna just charge in here. So it's gonna go 1, 2. Now this is probably a bad idea, but hey, this guy's all about bad ideas. Let's get some dice rolling. All right, so here we go. So we had 3 base for the Deadzone, 1 because he charged, and 1 because he's bigger. However, he is outnumbered, so that means we'd have to deduct 1. On the other side, we have 3 base, and he's actually hitting the guy that has the loot. So it's going to be 3 base, and he's got a buddy. And I believe that is it. So we're looking at 4s all the way around. Let's see what we get. So we're gonna have it explode in 8. Oh man, these are terrible. Looks like the Veer-Myn did a lot better. He got an exploding there, so let's go ahead and add the exploding. That's going to be another hit. Oh, he was going to hit back, I'm sorry, because Veer-Myn are pretty nasty in hand-to-hand. So he got an explode in 8. And that still missed. Okay, so now we've got some rerolls here that we're going to have to do. Alright, so my bad. He should have had an extra die, because he doesn't subtract it if he's outnumbered. It's only added to the defender because he has a buddy there. So actually, let me go ahead and roll another one of these. So that meant he would have had 2 hits. These all miss because he hits on 4s. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and he's gonna use his combat knife, so he's gonna reroll 1. So that's gonna be a hit. And then I believe that's also what I think we're able to do, because he's not going to be able to go through. I almost forgot that this guy had 4 defense. So actually that means that he's going to get 1 through. And I believe the Pterodon's going to take a damage. But I believe he's got armor, so I think he's okay. So Pterodon does have tough, so that means that he is going to be able to survive that 1 wound that went through. But we're going to try one more time. He's going to strike again using this die. Oh, actually, you know what? No, actually, I think he can. I think he can go ahead and strike. Even though we use, I think we're supposed to only do 1. But I think we can do 1 more since it's a different character that's activating. So he's going to have his 3. He's large. So that means he's going to have 4. But then the Veer-Myn is the same way. He's going to have 3 base, but then he has a buddy, so he's going to have 4 as well. So we're looking at 4s. Oh man, what are these rolls? Jeez. 1 exploding 8. And here to use his combat knife, so he's only going to have 2 that go through. And we can't reroll because we've already used our die. And the Veer-Myn has 2 exploding 8s. So 1, 2, I think he's fine. I think his survive is a 5. And actually I was supposed to nominate, so I'll just say he was going to survive. So yeah, he's good. He lives. He's fine. Alright, so that's going to be the end of the Pterodon. So we are going to activate this Stalker, and he's just going to charge as well. So 1, 2, and there's going to be a gang rape on this Pterodon. So we're going to be looking at 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be 5 dice. Because he has 2 buddies. Actually, I don't think you add extra. I think it's just 1, no matter how many buddies are in there. So it's 3 plus 1 because of the buddy, and then plus 1 because he did charge in there. So it's going to be these 5 to the Pterodon's 3, and then he's larger, so he's going to have 4. So looking at 4s or better. So all those hit. And then you got an exploding 8. So we got even more hits. Wow. That's crazy. So 3, 4. 4 dice for the Pterodon. And yeah, I believe he saves on the 4 as well. So these are going to fail. So it's going to be 2. Ouch. He's a save of a 5. So he just barely made those. So, uh-oh, this isn't good. All right, so he's going to block 2. He's going to have 1 armor. And he's got tough. So that means he's going to take a point of damage. He's going to be injured. So the rats smelling blood, they're going to go ahead and activate once again using their command die. And now it's going to be this rat that's going to be taken on the Pterodon. Oops. Oh man. Everything falls. Everything falls. Oh, it was just a piece of terrain. No big deal. Okay. So now we're looking at 3 dice, 4 is the buddy, 5 because he's injured. So it's going to be 5 dice again for the Stalker. So he needs 4s. They got a good roll last time. Oop, I'm using the wrong dice. These are the Reb dice, but he got all hits. And now the Reb The pterodon's got 4. He's got 3 base, and he's got 1 because he's a larger figure. Jeez, I think he's gonna die. So even if I get even if I reroll a die, that's gonna take care of that. The armor, the tough, even with a reroll, he's still gonna die. But let me see. I think he's got 3 wounds. He might have 3 wounds. Let me double check. No, he's got 4 wounds. He's a big boy. All right, so he blocks that. Armor, tough. So that means he's gonna take 2 more wounds. So he's gonna be at 3 wounds. He's got 1 left. So we're gonna go with this trooper here. He's just gonna run 1, pick this up. It will be, looks like it's one of those batons. And then he's gonna move back 2 to get into some cover. Sorry, buddy. Sorry for moving you. And he is done. Before these rats start picking up everything. Ratchies are gonna go one more time. Right in here, he's gonna activate and he is gonna try and finish off the pterodon. So we're looking at 3, 4 for outnumbered, 5 because he is injured. Man, these Veermyn are pretty nasty in hand-to-hand. So he missed 1, but we get an exploding 8. All those hit. So we got 5. Well, I guess this will teach the pterodon from going suicidal and trying to take out on a whole bunch of Veermyn. He saved 2. Let's see if that might save him. Well, you know what? Let me see if maybe I have to reroll. So he's got 2 there. Armor, tough. So actually, if I can reroll one of these to a 5, we'll go ahead and get rid of the. We'll get rid of the extra die. Maybe we might need those extra shots. 5 or better. Come on, you save. No. And the pterodon goes down for the count. Well, that happened. So now we're just going to activate this soldier here, this Reb. He's going to move 1 there. And he is going to take a shot right straight there. It looks like he's going to be right in the open. So that's an open shot. It's going to add 2 dice. So it's going to be 5 to 3. And the soldiers, I believe, need 5s or better. I'm rolling the wrong dice. My bad, guys. 4, 5. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Okay, that's better. So we got 3 hits with an explosion. And actually, I think that might be a hit. Now let's see if the Veermyn survives. And no, he gets crushed. He only saved 1, so that means 4 go through, and he is toast. We're going to go ahead and take another shot, spending 1 of the command dice. He's going to aim right at that guy right down there. No cover. So that's going to be another 5 dice. And that's one heck of a shot. Look at that. Holy cow. All hits. And the additional explosion hit. So that's 2, 4, 6 hits. 3 dice, saving on 5. So the Veermyn, he saved 2, but no explosions. And that's just going to rip up another rat. So down goes this bad boy. And that's just more points stacked for the Rebs. So Veermyn's going to go, and this stalker is just going to run off. So he's moving 3, so it's 1, 2, 3, and he's going to deposit his item, which was the little health thingy. So that's going to score the Veermyn 2 more points. So we're just going to activate this Reb, and he's just going to do a run. So he'll move to there, pick up that item, and then run right back and try and gain some cover. So we're getting this item here, and that looks like a frag grenade. So all right, it's another item for the Rebs. And this crawler is just going to run as well. So he'll do 1, 2, 3, picking this up. And that was the health, but he's in control now. Gonna try and take some cover right back here. and then he's going to be activated. Going to go ahead and activate the Grogon, and he's just going to take another shot, try and stop this guy from scoring. So he's in cover, so it's going to be 3 dice. And he needs 5s. Oh man, he's just a terrible shot. So he gets no hits, nothing there. We're going to go ahead and activate this Crawler and Stalker, and he's just going to run back. 1, 2, right here, and he's going to deposit his item. That's going to be another 2 points. Well, at least I thought he had an item. I don't see it. Because he's got one and he's got one. I'll have to look at the footage here and see if he did have one, because I think he did have one. My bad. He's the one that had the intel. So let's activate this guy who has the other the other item, and he's just going to run down. Like so. So it's going to be 1. He's going to deposit the item, and then he's going to run back over here. Actually, he'll run this way, just so we can get ready to back up some of these guys. But that's going to be another scoring point, which is this item. And he's going to score that for his team. We're going to go ahead and activate this Reb, and he's just going to go to here. And he's going to take a shot right straight down there. It looks like it's going to be kind of out in the open. Yeah, he's out in the open. So it's going to be 5 shots. 3, 4, 5. Unfortunately, he didn't get enough cover from that fella. So he needs 5s. And that wasn't a very good roll. We only got 2 exploding. No, so it was only 2 go through. No cover for the Stalker. Actually, yeah, that is a Stalker. No, that's a Crawler. Sorry. And he's gonna save. He's got a 7 and a 5, so he is good. So actually, he will activate, and he's gonna try and take some cover into this area here. Get ready for his next shot. And then he's going to go and shoot. So it's 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually, he's too far. So that means he wouldn't be able to move there. So actually, instead of activating him, what we'll do... Come on, stand up. Is we'll actually... Actually, we're going to activate this guy. He's just going to charge in. He's going to go against that Grogon. 1, 2, 3. Get into this square here. So actually, I guess I'll put him right back here, and he's going to try and take out that Grogon. So it's going to be 3, 4 because he charged in, so he needs 4s. Oh man, like a boss. Exploding? No, that didn't help. But the Grogon's going to have 3 and then 1 more, and he's just going to try and survive. Oh man, I think he blocked it all day. So I think the 6 saves. Yep, he says on 4s or better. So he actually blocked everything. So it's 2 and 2. All right, good job. But you know what? We're gonna go ahead and attack one more time. Since we got these attack dice, let's do it. So it's gonna be 3 dice again. Needing 4s. He got 2 hits. No, it's a 6. I thought that was exploding. But we do have 4 because he does have a buddy there. And oh, well, no, he still saved it. It's a 7 and a 4. He blocked it. He's good. Well, this guy has no choice but to strike because he doesn't want to get a free hit from this Veer-Myn. So he's going to strike. So it's going to be 3, 4 on 3. So he's needing 6s. Didn't get nothing, he whiffed it. So nothing going. So we're gonna activate the boss, and he's just gonna run. So he moves 2. So he'll go 1, 2, and then we're gonna spend this command die to move an additional square, of course. And he's going to go right here and try and get some cover from that. And he's going to strike at that guy right there. So we are looking at 3 base, bigger figure. And he moved into the same square. So we're looking at 5 dice. And I believe he needs 4s. He's got an exploding. I'll double check that 2. See if that doesn't hit. I mean that 3, see if he doesn't hit. The 2 2s I know for sure don't hit. He does, however, have Frenzy. He needs 4, so he can reroll up to 2 dice because he's a Frenzy 2. I got another hit. Okay. So now it's a 3-die survival for that guy. Needing 5s. He gets a whopping 1. Well, nothing wrong with taking a shot here. He's just going to move up here so he can get a clear line of sight and take a blast there. So it's going to be 5 dice. Going on 3. Needing 5s. Explosion. So we got 3. And now we're looking at 3 dice survival test. Needing, I believe it's 4s. He's got, well, I think it's a 5 actually. So it's 3 so far, but I'll double check. So he did block 2. He's going to take a damage. And yeah, I don't think he has armor, so I think he's going to take a wound. Haha, armor 1. He's going to block it all. He is good. However, we're going to take another shot. So once again, 5 dice. Needing 5s or better. Missing 2. And once again, another 3-die survival test. Whoops, rolled too many dice. He saved 2 with an explosion. But he's going to be fine. He's going to block 2, and the armor's going to take 1 more. He is good to go. So we're just going to activate this crawler. He's going to move 1, 2, get behind this wall here, and take a cheeky shot right at the leader down there. So it's going to be 3, and I'm going to say that's an open shot. So it's going to be 5 dice. He's needing 6s, I believe. He got an exploding 8, another exploding 8, and he has a rate of fire 1. So he's got 3 hits. And then she saves, I believe she saves on a 5. Ooh, that's not good, but let's take a check. So she saves on 5. She has armor 1, so she's going to block 1 armor. She's going to take a damage, so she is wounded. So she's going to return the favor, but this time she's actually going to go ahead and get into a little bit of cover here. And she's going to take a blast at him. So it'll be 3 on 3. But you know what? She's going to spend the last die to get an additional bonus die. So she's looking at 4 dice. Needing 4s. Jeez, she didn't roll too good there. She got a whopping hit. And the Veer-Myn, I believe he gets it with an 8. So he is fine. So we're going to go ahead and activate our Nightmare. And he's just going to run up. So he will do 1, 2, and we'll spend the last action die to go ahead and move 1 more to get right behind here to be ready for the next turn. He's gonna bomb rush. So now it's gonna go to the Rebs, and this guy's just gonna fly up. So 1, and then he's gonna pick up that item. 2, 3 to try and get some cover right back here. He did a dash. This is gonna be looks like another type of grenade. So we're gonna set that aside. And he is done. Now, it looks like the only thing left over here is just gonna be a medic. Gonna go with this Veer-Myn here, and he's just gonna walk. He's gonna go 1, 2, and get right here on the bottom of this, and he's gonna take a shot right down there at that drone. So it's gonna be an open shot because he is elevated. So actually it's gonna be six dice. It's gonna be 3, 2 for the higher elevation out in the open, and then +1 because he is on a higher level. So 4, 5, 6. So he's needing 5s. Oh man, that was a terrible roll. Way to fire. No, nothing good there. And then 3 dice, 4 better for the drone, and he's just gonna laugh. Laughing robot. So medic's gonna go and he's just gonna book it because he has no point in being in this spot. So 1, 2, he's gonna take some cover behind this guy. He has no weapons, no reason to get killed. So we got this crawler or stalker. He's just gonna run. 1, 2, 3. He's gonna go right through that hole and be right there. These Veer-Myn are much dangerous when it's bigger games. And I believe that's going to be it for the Rebs. So they're done. So the Veer-Myn still have plenty of guys. So we're going to move this crawler. He's just going to run up. So he'll go 1, 2, 3. Get up here on top. Get ready to get some shots for the next turn. So he's done. And then we have these guys. And this crawler's just going to run. 1, 2, 3, and go into down here in this spot here. So he's actually right there to get ready to get some shots in. And then we got the swarm. The swarm's just gonna run up as well. So 1, 2, 3, and get some cover here and join the fray in there. And there we go. That's gonna be the end of round 2. Let's tally up some points and see what we're at. So the Rebs are at 4 points. They successfully brought in two items to the catch, and the Veer-Myn are at 8 points, successfully bringing 2 items to the catch. But then they also found 2 pieces of intel, so they are 8 to 4. And don't forget, the first 3 rounds they don't score any points for their kills. So everything they've killed so far is all for naught because they didn't get any points on them. And it's pretty much, it's all fair game. We got 1 item that hasn't been recovered, and we do have both teams that do have quite a bit of items on their side. They just have to turn them in. Let's see how it goes on turn 3. So here we go, rolling for the command dice. Here are the Veer-Myn. Veer-Myn are gonna get extra shot, extra hand-to-hand, extra activation square, and an extra model activation. We're gonna re-roll the shot and get an extra movement on a square. We're gonna keep that. And now let's go ahead and see if we can't roll for the Rebs. The Rebs are gonna have hand-to-hand, 2 hand-to-hand. Yeah, I don't know about that. Extra square activation, extra character activation, and a splat. So we're gonna re-roll these. Extra square. Those aren't bad. I think I'll go ahead and keep that for sure. I mean, not that I have a choice, but they'll have the extra activations, which is good. Now, a couple of things that I want to go ahead and kind of fix up because I did make a mistake. There were 2 items here that were intel, and I accidentally put an extra item here that should have just been intel. So these guys shouldn't have had any items at all. So what happened was they still managed to score because I went back and looked all the footage. The only thing is different is that the character back here, he does have 1 item on him. So he accidentally ran out there instead of coming back over here and depositing. So this guy doesn't have the item. This character does, this rat. So he's the only one that has an item on there. The score is still 8 to 2, or 8 to 4, I should say. But it was just a little mishap right here that I completely forgot that it was 2 pieces of intel. So they didn't have 2 items there. Another thing that I forgot was that the leader from the Rebs actually has energy shields. So she has an energy shield 2, so she had a chance to try and avoid taking that 1 damage. So she needed 6s. Okay, so she failed, so that means she still keeps that 1 damage that she has. So now on to the game. So starting with the Rebs, we're just going to go ahead and activate the cell leader, and she's just going to move back because she wants nothing to do with this big rat coming towards her way. So she is going to walk. So she's going to move there, and then she's going to spend... actually, you know what? She's not going to spend anything. She's just going to stay there, and she's going to take a shot up here. Should be out in the open because he doesn't have any cover from that area. So it's going to be 5 dice, and she needs 4s or better. So she is shooting on 4s. She's got an exploding 8. These all miss. Another exploding 8. And she's got 4 hits. And the Veer-Myn, that is a crawler, needs 5s to save. He got 2 saves. So that's going to be 2 on 2. So that means he has no armor. So he's going to be obliterated by the shot. So Sail Leader is done. Now we're going to go ahead and spend a command die. We're going to activate another character. And this fella here is just going to run back because he wants nothing to do either. Ooh, that's your wound. And he wants nothing to do with that big rat coming his way. So he'll go 1, 2. And I guess he'll take some cover from these guys here. And just so that way he won't get murderized. Okay, so this belongs to this guy gentleman here. So I'm going to move that to there because he has that item. Veer-Myn are going to go, and we're going to activate this stalker, and he's just going to run and charge. So he'll go 1, 2, 3 right into this guy here, and see if he can't take him down. So it's going to be 3 base, 1 for the charge, and then 1 additional 1 because it's 3 base, 1 for the charge, and that's it. It's 4. My bad. I'm adding all kinds of extra dice here. Okay, so it's 4. He needs 4s or better. He got 3 hits. Take that out. So now the Reb needs, I believe he survives on 6s. I know the 7 for sure survives. Yep, indeed it is 6s. So he got 1 save. So he's going to block 1. He has no armor. He's going to take 2 damage. That's going to take him down. So we're going to do it one more time. We're going to go ahead and spend another command die for the Veer-Myn. And we're going to activate the Rat Swarm. Rat Swarm's just going to bum rush in here and take on this gentleman here before he scores with his points. So the Rat Swarm has his 3 base. And he's got 1 additional 1 for the charge. And I'll take a look after I roll, see what he needs to attack. And that is not the greatest roll, but he does get an explosion. Another explosion. And we'll see if that 5 hits. All right, so he does hit on 5, so these 3 are going to miss. He's got 3 hits. And let's do a survival test for the Reb Trooper. He saves on 6s. Oh, nice. He needs a 6 here, or else he's going to take a wound. He's not good, so he's going to take a damage. 2 blocks, no armor. He is wounded. So now it's the Reb's turn. So now we're going to go ahead and activate. We're going to activate this drone. He's going to go ahead and deposit that item he has just to get some more points on the board. So he's just going to move 1. And actually, he's going to run. So he'll do 1 there, deposit his item. So that's going to give him another 2 points. And then he's going to move 2 more. So then he'll go... Oh, actually, he can't go there because he'll get crushed. Oh, boy. I guess he'll just move to here and get some cover. Because there's really nowhere else to go. There's another rat right in there. So he can't go in there as well. So he's just going to stay like so there. So Rebs are going to activate, and they're going to go ahead and spend an additional command die to do another activation. And they need to get this rat out of here. So the Grogon's going to activate, and he's going to try and murderize this thing. So he'll be at 3 dice, plus 1 because of the buddy. So he'll have his 4 dice. 4 dice. And that's a pretty good roll. He got an explosion. And I don't think the 3's going to hit. I believe he needs 4s. So the Grogon is a 5 or better. And now the rat is needing 5s for survival. And look at that. Holy cow. He is blocking all of it. He's good. So now it goes to the Veer-Myn. And we're going to activate this because technically he can't get in there. So yeah, let's do this. Let's get this guy finally in hand-to-hand. He's going to rush. So he's going to go 1, 2, and we're taking on the Sail Leader. So we're looking at 3 dice, plus 1 for the charge, plus 1 because he's a larger model. Oh, and +1 because she is wounded. So we are needing 4s. Not the greatest roll, unfortunately. So that's those. All these miss. So the Nightmare has Frenzy 1, and I did arm him with a Combat Blade. So he's gonna go ahead and use both. So his Frenzy, for sure, he has it all the time. So he's gonna re-roll. So he's got 1 hit there, and then his one-time use Combat Blade. So he's not gonna be able to use it again. And he gets, I believe it's 2 hits. So 4 total hits, and now the cell leader has to try and save. So her save is a 5. Oh, nice. She got 2 explosions. So she saved 3. So 1 goes through. And she does have armor. Unfortunately, the Nightmare does have AP1 on his combat, on his drills. So that means it's going to go straight to her energy shield. So she got energy shield 2. She needs a 6 to survive, or else she is dead. She makes it. She is good. She survived the first one, but can she survive one more time? Because we're fighting again. So it's going to be 3 + 1 because he's a large model, and she's wounded. So he needs 4s. He's got 3. Let's go ahead and do the reroll, or actually the exploding 8. He hits, and then he's got his Frenzy 1. So he got 5 hits. Holy cow. All right, so it's going to be base of a 3. Let's see if she can save it. She's got 2 saves, and she's got no rerolls, so that means she's only going to save 2. She's got energy shield 2. She's got to get some exploding 8s here, or else she's going to eat it. She saves 1 more, but I think that's going to be it. So she's going to block 3. And she's going to take 2. And that's going to put her out of commission after her armor 1. 1 more is going to go through. She only has 2 wounds, and down goes the cell leader. So the Rebs are in trouble. Now they have no cell leader. So we're going to go ahead and activate this Rebs trooper, and he's going to try and strike there. And it's going to be 3 dice + 1 because he has a buddy. So we're looking at 6s because I don't think they're that good in hand-to-hand. They're better at shooting. So he's got 2 hits with an explosion. Nothing there. And then the Veer-Myn, he saves on 5s. They are not having it today. Saves 2 explosion, but the 2 is good enough to block it. Veer-Myn are going to activate, and we're just going to run with this crawler, and he's just going to move 1, 2, and then 3 right back up to this square and try and get a little bit of cover here. But he's picked up this item now, and it is armor piercing rounds. Back to the Rebs. The Rebs are, he's just going to go ahead and go to here like so. And he's going to take a shot, open shot at the big Nightmare after he just witnessed him rip up his boss. So he's going to have +2, so it's going to be 5 dice, and he needs 5s. Geez, that was horrible. So he only got 1 through, and he's going to go ahead and spend one of the command dice to go ahead and give him a reroll. He got at least 2, so 3 saves from the Nightmare. I'm pretty sure that 8 and 6 is gonna survive. Another 8, yeah, he's good. He's gonna block all 3, or all 2 shots. So he's good. Gonna activate this Veer-Myn right here. The crawler is gonna shoot right down here, have a top shot. So that means he's gonna have it open. So that means it's gonna have 5 dice. He needs 6s. This one's a cocked die. And he completely whiffed. Oh, way to fire. No. Still missed. So we're going to try and bum rush this guy. The doc is going to go in. He's going to charge. And see if he can't give help to this fellow Reb here before his whole army just comes crumbling down. So it's going to be 3 + 1 because of the buddy. So it's you're looking at 4 dice. Yeah, I've never fought with him in hand-to-hand. So let me take a look to see what his stats are. So I will take that back because he has no fight stats, no shoot stat. He has nothing. So we're going to take that back, and we're just going to activate him, and he's just going to take a strike there. So it'll be 3 dice. He needs 6s to hit. Oh, nice. 2 explosions. 2 more explosions. Oh boy, I'm running out of white dice here. Let me just grab a couple here. This guy is really ticked off at this rat swarm. And he got another hit. So that we know that was a hit. I think it was an 8. But he got all those hits. Rat swarm, I think, saves on 6s. Oh, nice. He got an explosion. And that missed. Let's see. I'll double check though. Rat swarms have 4 HP. They do save on 6s, so they're gonna block 3. And no armor, so he's gonna take 3 damage. Man, he almost took it out. So not bad. He should have had 1 more die because the model that's attacking him is injured. So he would have saved 1 more. So that means he would have just taken 2 wounds. So we're gonna go ahead and activate this stalker, and he's just gonna run. So he will do 1, jump over this, 2, 3 to help out the swarm. And he is going to attack this injured Reb trooper. So we're looking at 3, 4 for the buddy, and 5 because he moved in. 5 dice, needing 4s. He got all those hits. And then that Reb trooper, he's only got 3. Actually, he has +1 because he is in a what's called it, with an injured soldier, with an injured rat. You got 1 explosion. Nope. I think that's gonna be it for that Reb trooper. Only blocked 1. It's gonna take 3. No armor. Yeah, he goes down. So man, really the only thing left here is just this thing here, which he really can't. Actually, no, he deposited this turn. Actually, no, he hasn't gone. He's the one that activated. So he really can't do anything. He doesn't really have any shots. The medic can't do anything. So I guess they'll just fly off here. This machine, this little drone is just going to fly off. 1, 2, and end up down here. But he's going to just float up to evade on top. He's going to be done. So now we're going to activate the bottom stalker. That's on the very bottom. He's just going to come out. And he's just going to bum rush. Actually, he's not going to bum rush. He's going to shoot. He's much better at shooting. So we're going to go ahead and leave him there. He's going to take a shot at that drone. It's going to be out in the open. So it's going to be 5 shots. So we're looking at 4, 5. He needs 6s. Good shot. 2 explosions. So he got all those hits. So he's got 5 total, and the drone needs 4s. He got an explosion. So he's gonna block 3, but he does have energy shield 2. Needs 6s, got 1 explosion. And that one failed, so he's gonna block 4, and he's gonna take 1 damage. So actually all they have is 1 damage, so down goes the drone. So the only thing left really is just this medic. Medic's just gonna medic. Jeez, there's really nothing left here. He's just gonna run back, go to there, try and back up this chint right here, and that's pretty much it. He's all he can really do. And actually it's gonna be all Veermyn now. So we're gonna run with this, actually with this crawler. So he's gonna go 1, 2, and then he's just gonna climb up here to 3, and he's gonna pick up this item here, which is gonna be a health pack. Make sure we set that in the right spot here. That's why I'm going to get it confused. And I know what? I'm gonna go ahead and spend an additional, actually, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do that. He's just gonna stay where he's at. He's good. Because right now it's all Veermyn, and Veermyn are wiping out the Rebs big time. So now we're gonna have this other Veermyn. He's just gonna, he really can't get a shot anywhere because he's got no line of sight. So actually, you know what? He'll go this way. So he's gonna go 1, 2, and actually if he goes up on top, so you can go 1, 2, and then from here he's gonna take a shot at that drone. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, it might be too far. I think their guns are only 5, but I'll double check. Yeah, it's only range 4, so he doesn't have the range on it, unfortunately. So he's just gonna stop right there, and he's done for the turn. So now it's gonna go back to the Veermyn because the Rebs are all rebbed out, and now we're gonna run with this stalker, and he's just gonna run this way. So it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, and get some cover there. Not that he really needs it because there's just about everybody is in hand to hand. And the last but not least is the big boy, and he's charging in. So he's gonna go 1, 2, and he's gonna try and take care of this Reb that's right there. So we're looking at 3, 1 for the charge in, and then 1 because he's a bigger model. He's needing 4s or better. He gets all hits. Oop, roll the wrong dice too. Oops, my bad. Oh well. And then 3 survival for the Reb, and he saves on, I believe it's 6s, so he got an explosion. So I think he's got 2 saves. So they save on 6s, they block 2. 3 are going to go through. Even if you had armor, it's armor piercing 1, 3 damage. That's going to take down that Reb trooper. So now, last but not least is just this stalker that's left, and he's just going to strike right here and try and take this guy down. So he's going to have his 3 dice, and he'll have 4 because he has a buddy. So we're looking at 4 dice. He's gonna try and survive. So he needs 6s. He got 1 explosion, so he's got 2, and then the Veermyn is gonna need at least a few of these hits on 4s. He's gonna spend a command die to go ahead and reroll this one, and he gets 3 hits. So actually, because the Grogon has the shield, he's gonna have armor 1, so he's actually gonna block it. So he's in good shape. That is the end of turn 3, and the slaughter continues because there is not very much left for the Rebs. They're only 2 points away from trying to tie the game, but I think this next turn might be the end of it because there's only like 4 or 5 Reb troopers left. So this might be a complete wipeout by the Veermyn. But the score so far, we're looking at 8 still for the Veermyn. They have not been able to score anymore. And it's 6 for the Rebs. So they're 2 points down, but again, there isn't a whole lot left. Unfortunately, no points yet for killing other troopers, but turn 4, all is fair game now, as now both teams are going to be able to score as they take down troops. Here we go, beginning of turn 4. With the Rebs taking the first turn, let's go ahead and do their command dice. Looks like they're going to be getting 2 extra shots, and they'll have an extra die to add to any roll. We're going to go ahead and keep that since their leader is dead. And now, ooh, I think we'll probably keep that. Those splats might come in handy for the rat leader. And we're going to reroll the shots. Extra activation, we'll keep that. And they are done. So starting with the Rebs, they will take the first turn. Starting with the Rebs, they're going to go ahead and activate this trooper here. And he's just going to move to here to go ahead and turn in his item. So that's what he's turning in. That'll give him an extra 2 points there. And then for his second activation, he's just going to unload. He will unload. Oh man, there's a big choice here. Let's go with the commander. Let's see if he can't take him out. So it's going to be out in the open. So it's going to be 3 dice plus 2, so it's 5. I'm going to go ahead and add a die to it. Actually, no, I'm not going to add a die. So it's just going to be 5 dice because of the open shot. So 5. And he's needing 5s or better. He got 3 hits with an explosion. Ooh, another explosion. And he missed there. So it's going to be 4 total hits. And now for the rat leader, he's going to have 3 dice. And I believe he saves on 5s. He's got 1 explosion. I know the 1 and the 3 ain't going to save. So that means one's gonna go through, and let's see if we want to spin a reroll. So pack leader saves on 5, so we're gonna go ahead and spin a command die just so we can reroll one of these dice. Needs a 5 or better. No, he does not. Uh-oh. So he's gonna block 1, and armor's gonna take 1, and he's gonna take 2 damage, and I believe he only has 2 wounds, so I think he's dead. Okay, so I'm gonna redo this because he has stealth, so that means they can never get a clear line of sight to him. So I'm gonna go ahead and redo it because luckily I read his profile. So here we go. 5s are better. He only got 1 hit. So now he's needing 3 dice to try and block. He needs 5s. And he's gonna block that. So that's 3. So he is done. Whew. Thank goodness for the stealth. Good thing I reread that. But we're gonna go ahead and spend the die so he can shoot again. So it's gonna be 3 dice once more. And he got nothing. He whiffed. So that is the end of his turn. So now it goes on to the Veermyn, and he's just going to charge right here. Or, no, actually, you know what? We're going to charge with this fella here. So he's going to move 3, 1, 2, and charge the medic. So he's going to have his 3 dice plus 1 for the charge. So he's going to need 4s or better. Needing 4s. He got 1 exploding 8. So he got 3 hits. And the medic, I believe, has a 5 or better. Medic is a 5 or better. Look at that. He wants it for sure. So he's definitely going to block it, even with the exploding 8. So he is just fine. So we're going to go ahead and activate the Veermyn once again, spinning a command die. And they're going to charge one more time. So this time around, it's going to be this guy here. He's going to run and try and take out this drone. So he's going to go 1, climb up these walls here, and try and take out this drone here. So he's going to be 4 dice, 3, and then plus 1 because of the charge. Needing 4s. Got an exploding 8. So he's got 4 hits. Actually 5 hits. The drone saves on 4s or better. He had an exploding 8. No. So it's only 1. So that means that's going to be blocked. So 4 are going to go through. He does have 2 shields though. See if he can ignore some of this damage. And yeah, he saves 1, but it's not enough. No explosions. All he needs is just 1 damage. That drone is gone. So score another one for the Veermyn. Rebs are going to go, and we're going to go ahead and activate this gentleman right here. And he's going to try and take a strike at him to see if we can't kill him also. We can get some shots with that big old cannon. So he's going to have 4 dice because he does have a buddy there. And he's going to need 6s so that he can hit. So it's going to be 3, then plus 1. He got 1 total hit. And we'll go ahead and do a save for the Veermyn. Saves on 5s. He got the save, so he blocked it. Gonna go and activate this Veermyn right here, and actually we're gonna shoot with this Veermyn. He's gonna take a clear shot right here. He is wide open, so it's gonna be 5 dice. So we're gonna need 6s, 6 or better. So he only got the 1 hit. He has weight of fire, so he got 2 hits, and then it's gonna be 3 saves. For the trooper, he saved nothing. So no armor. 2 damage is going to go through. He goes down, gets gunned down. So all we have left really is just the medic and the Grogan. He's just going to go ahead and smack there. He's got 3 dice. He needs 5s or better. He's got plus 1 because of the buddy. 5s. He's got explosions. Another explosion. He's got all those hits. Veermyn save on 5s. Saves 2, but I think that's going to be the end of Mr. Veermyn. Going to block 2. It's going to take 3. No armor. So yeah, he's going to be dead. And on top of that, he's going to drop the loot. So now, since he took out that Veermyn, he's going to go ahead and take a shot into the big boy right over here. And it's a clear line of sight, so it's going to be 5 shots. See if we can get some redemption for a lot of his dead comrades. He's needing 4s or better to hit. Oh, man. Just a bad whiff right there. I believe it's 4s or better. I'll take a look. But let me go ahead and roll the saves for the Nightmare. I believe he saves on 5s. He got no saves. Let me make sure this is all legit here. Okay, some good news, some bad news. There was no saves because he saves on 5s. So nothing for the Nightmare. The Grogan hits on 5s. So he does get 1 through. It is -3. So that means that the Nightmare is going to take 1 point of damage. So the only guy left is the Medic. And he's going to try and break away. He's going to try and move to here. And he's going to take free whacks from the Veermyn. So he's hitting on 4s. Oh, whoops. 1 too many dice. 1 left. 4s. Holy cow. So it's 2. Oh my gosh. Maybe he should have stayed where he was at. So all that hit. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6. And he has to survive or else he is dead. So he didn't save anything there. He does have shield 3. So he needs 6s. He only saved 1. So that is 1 dead Medic. So all that is left is 2 Rebs. And they've already both activated. So it's all Veermyn right now. So he's just going to jump. He's going to run off because he's got one of the objectives. So he's going to climb down. He's going to go 1. And then 2. And then jump down to here, 3. And so he's going to turn in his item. And that's going to give him an extra 2 points there. So he is done. And now we have... we got one more guy with an item over there. But I'm going to go ahead and activate him. And he is going to bum rush this way. 1, 2 to go in here, and he's going to strike. So it's going to be 4 on 4. And he's going to try and take out the regular trooper there. So it's going to be 4 on 4 because of the rush in. So he'll have 3 base plus 1 for charging in. Leading 4s. Oh, that is a good roll. 3 8s. Another 8. Let's go ahead and take that out. And he misses there. So he's going to have 3, 6 total hits. So now we're going to have 4 dice for the Red Trooper to try and survive. And he does have armor 1 because of the Defender Shield. He got his own 8. That was a 6. So those both fail, but he does have an 8. Got an extra 8. Nope. So it's 3. And actually, we might as well go ahead and spin the last command die to get a reroll. And I believe he saves on 5s. So it's going to be 4. I'll double check it, but I think it is 5s. But he's going to have save 4. He's going to have his shield. So he is going to take a point of damage. That's if that 5 stands, he'll still be alive. So nope. They save on 6s. This is a fail. So that means that the Reb soldier only saves 3. His 1 armor from the Grogan or Groku, whatever his name is. So he's taking 2 damage and down goes the Reb. So Boss Man is going to try and end this game. So he's just going to move into base here. Charging in. And he still has plenty because there's up to 4 up to size 4 guys can fit in 1 cube, and he's only a 2, and he's got a 3 with his buddy there. So that means it's going to be 3, 4 for the buddy, 5 for charging in, and then 6 because he's a bigger model. So 2, 4, 6 total. Holy cow. Here we go. Boss Man is going to end this game. So he does have Frenzy 2, I believe. So we're going to reroll these 2. Keep them away just in case. Doesn't matter. He did miss. And here to use his combat blade. So he's going to have a total of 4. And you know what? I think... No, we're not going to do that. He's going to go ahead and keep the dice. So it's going to be 3 dice save. for the Grogon, and I believe he saves on 5s, which he got an exploding 8, but he failed to save anything else. That might be it. That might be it. He's gonna save 1. He's gonna have armor 1, so he's gonna take 2 damage, and I don't think he has more than 2 damage, to be honest. So a couple of bad news for the Grogon. The armor doesn't save him because it is armor piercing 1, so he's actually gonna take 3. He only has 2 wounds. Down goes Grogon, and the Rebels are all out of time. So just to finish off the turn, the only thing we have left really, he would just kind of mess around here. He doesn't really have anything else to do. Rebs have no activation, so it's all going to be nothing but Veer-Myn activations. So he would just scuttle along. So he's a 1, 2, 3 to there, and he's the only one that has an item. He would just go this way, 1, 2, 3, and the rat actually can't pick up any items, so it would be this fella in here that would come out, and he would run. So he'd run 1, 2, 3 to here, and he would have this, and the rat would just run this way, 1, 2, taking his wounds with him. And I believe that would be all activations there. Everything would be done. And now we'll just tally up points to see what the final score was before the complete obliteration of all the Rebs. So score recap, Rebs would have scored 8 points from the items they delivered to the catch, and then they destroyed 1 Veer-Myn, which is 1 extra point. So they end up at 9 points. The Veer-Myn would have scored 4 for intel, and then 6, there should be a 6 here, so 6 for their item drops from their catch. And then they slaughtered the Grogon, which is 1 point, the medic, which is another point, and then a trooper for another point. So a total of 4, 10, 11, 12, 13 total points for them. The drone is not worth anything, so they wouldn't have scored any points there. So it would have been 13 to 9. However, since the Rebs completely were wiped out, that leads to a Veer-Myn automatic victory. So at the end of the game, the Veer-Myn take it in turn 4. So that was great. Almost 200 points. I need to go ahead and get more stuff painted. I got to try and get back into Deadzone so that way I can get more stuff painted. There's been a lot of stuff that we've been kind of going over on the channel. A lot of new stuff that's came in that we want to try and get on there. So I've kind of drifted away from Deadzone, but I'll see if I can't get more stuff painted, more terrain as well, so we can get a little bit more options on the terrain field as well. But I don't know, guys, how do you feel? Do you think the Rebs had a chance at all? I felt they were just outnumbered. There was way too many Veer-Myn players, way too many Veer-Myn troops on this field, and the Rebs just couldn't catch up. I mean, they were just so fast on the field. And I had a feeling too, when I started writing this up, I was like, you know what, I have a feeling these Veer-Myn are just going to run all over the field and get to the positions they needed to. And that's exactly what they did. They took one side and kind of, if you could imagine like this Starship Trooper feel, all these bugs coming, all you see is these Veer-Myn coming, and they just completely just kind of sandwiched them in the middle here, because one wave went this way, the other wave went this way, and it was just a little too much. And of course the die rolls weren't really with the Rebs. They were rolling some pretty bad dice. I mean, when they really needed it, they just couldn't get it down. So, and I don't know, I'm thinking charging head first into that little posse of rats with the pterodon, that probably wasn't the greatest idea. I probably should have just held them back, maybe try and take the rats one at a time. But I felt he should have been able to take out at least maybe 1 or 2 rats. I didn't think he was going to whiff that badly. And in the end, the rats just completely they decimated them. There was way too many. And that's because that was just small rats. That wasn't even the big rats that took them down. But man, it was great. It was a good match. I'm going to try and get more stuff painted so that we can hit the 200 points, because it was a lot of fun using a whole bunch of guys on the field. There's just a lot more options for everybody. And if I can get more models, I can try and get a little bit more variety on there, because the rats actually, they had a whole bunch of troops which helped them out, but at the same time you kind of want to see a little variety. You want to see maybe some of the bigger rats, maybe those wheel rats. I don't know what they're called, but they're in those wheels. And then there's also the pack leader, or I think it's the rat mother or something like that. I don't know what she's called, but she looks really cool. I'm thinking of maybe trying to get her and have her and get her on the field as well. But for the first time, hey, he finally did something. Both these guys didn't get shot down. They did what they were supposed to do. They bum rushed, they killed, and they did a good job. In this game, they finally did a good job. So I was finally able to see what they could do. And rats are pretty nasty once they get up close and personal. Yeah, you don't want to get into hand-to-hand with these guys. They are pretty nasty, even the regular troops by themselves. And on a side note, guys, we have launched our Patreon. If you guys are enjoying the content that we are bringing for you guys, go check out the link in the description below. There is 3 different tiers. For as low as $3, you guys can help our channel grow. And we just want to say thank you guys for all the love and support you guys are showing us. It's only because of you guys that we are still continuing to do this. And we just want to say thank you. Check out that Patreon, because there's a little something for you guys as well that are giving us all your support. But if you guys saw any mishaps in this video, feel free to comment below. Once again, I'm always reading all comments, and I'm always trying to respond to each and every one of you guys. So we will see you again for more Deadzone later on down the line. In the meantime, if you haven't liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Don't miss out on any new content, as we're trying our best to bring even more content out to you guys. And that's going to be it for this one, guys. Keep rolling dice, and don't forget, always paint your walls crimson. Take care, guys.